Hello, my amazing kindergarten artists. I thought this week we would dive in to a new art project inspired by a story, my friends. The story is called Love Monster. And just like how during this time of the year we might start to celebrate love, I thought it would be fun to make our own love monsters inspired by the story and using some collage. Now, my artists, before we get started today, finding out what materials we need and having Miss Grayhead read the story to you, friends, I do have to make one very small apology, my friends. I noticed today when I was making my example that I forgot a piece of paper in your art folders, my friends. Today, we're going to need some colorful paper that's in your folder right now, but we're also going to need one piece of white paper, and that's what Miss Greathead forgot to put in your folders for this week, my friends. And I am so very sorry, my amazing artists. I hope that you friends can forgive me and that you are able to maybe find a small sheet of white or white lined paper at home that you could go grab quickly, my friends. Again, this piece of paper was not from my art folder. Miss Greathead accidentally forgot to put it in there, okay? Please find a white piece before grabbing your other art supplies and listening to our story today, my friends. Thank you, artists. This is a monster. Hello, monster. I think you'll agree he's a little bit funny looking, to say the least. He lives in a world of cute, fluffy things, which makes being funny looking pretty darn hard. You might have noticed that everybody loves kittens and puppies and bunnies. You know, cute, fluffy things. But nobody loves a slightly hairy, I suppose a bit googly-eyed monster. Poor monster. This might be enough to make a monster feel, well, a bit down in the dumps. But not being the moping around sort, he decided to set out and look for someone who'd love him just the way he was. He looked high. He looked low. He looked middle-ish. He looked inside and outside. More than once, he thought that maybe, just maybe, he'd found what he was looking for. But as it turned out, things were never quite as they seemed. Yes, it would be fair to say that his search did not go well. And then it didn't go well some more. It didn't go well for such a long time, in fact, that it began to get dark and scary and, well, not very nice. So the monster, having lost all his oomph, decided it was time to give up and go home. But in the blink of a googly eye, everything changed. You see, sometimes when you least expect it, love finds you. So let's open up our art folder, my friends, and there are 3 pieces of paper that we need. The first piece is a large colored piece of paper. You might have a different color than me, like pink, red, or light blue. The second piece is a smaller piece of paper, my friends, that is colorful as well. Again, you might have a different color. I have pink today. And then the last piece that I need is a large black sheet of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and set my art folder off to the side so that way we can take a look at all of those pieces of paper, my friends. Again, the ones from your art folder today: large black, large color, small color. Again, your two colors might be different from mine. And then again, please have some piece of white paper with you. Again, not from your art folder because of my medium-sized oops, my friends. I, again, apologize for that oops. All right, artists. I want you to go ahead and start on your large colored sheet of paper today. So I'm going to put all my other ones off to the side. We need to start by drawing our monster, my friends. Now, if you look at my monster here, you'll notice that our monster's head is a round kind of shape with some pointed ears at the top. And that's where we're going to start today, my friends. So I'll pick up my pencil first. And at the bottom of my paper, I want to make a large kind of upside down letter U right now. So I'll go ahead, starting with my large upside down letter U. And this should go to about the middle part of your paper, my friends, okay? Now, off of each side, I need to make those pointed ears. I like to make my ears kind of rounded and pointed, but you could make yours just straight and pointed if you would like. Again, I prefer rounded kind of ears myself. All right, artists, so there is the body of my monster right now and his ears. Next thing I'm going to do is draw a few details, my friends. I want to map out where my monster features might go in a moment. For example, I might want to have one large eye over here. Maybe I'll put a smaller eye over here. If you notice, my monster looks concerned because he or she has some eyebrows. There's also some lines that I added to my ears. And then I drew where my mouth could go. And you can add whatever type of mouth you would like, my friends. I have a concerned kind of frown, like the monster's still looking for love. But you could also add a smile as well if you'd like. I'm also going to leave one spot for where I can put the heart on my monster later. All right, artists, I'm going to set that off to the side now, and I'm going to pull out next my white piece of paper. On our white piece of paper today, my friends, and again, if you need to pause the video and finish those steps on your colored paper, please do. On my white piece of paper, I need to draw two eyes. I need to draw a few sharp little teeth. And I might also draw a couple of small hearts. So I'm going to look again at the eyes that I drew here. I drew one big eye. I drew one smaller eye. And again, I need some teeth. And the shape that I used for my teeth are triangles, my friends. I like to use maybe 4 or 5. So I'm going to draw 4 or 5 different triangles on my piece of paper. Maybe some of mine might be big triangles. Maybe some might be smaller triangles. Maybe I could have one really big triangle. It's really up to you how many and how big your triangles are today, my friends, okay? Again, I'm also going to add maybe a couple hearts onto my white piece of paper too. Now, hearts are really fun to draw, my friends, and there's 2 ways that I like to draw my hearts. The first way that I like to do it is with the letter M and the letter V. Here's how. At the top of my heart, I'll start with my lowercase m and how it bounces. And then below my m, I will add my letter V. That's one way that I like to do it. Another way, because sometimes I like to flip my art upside down and think about it upside down, is using the letter J. So I'll start with the letter J, and then I'm going to add a second letter J that turns the other way. So it's going to hook down and come in the other way. That's the other way that I like to do my hearts. But again, if you have your own way of drawing hearts, of course, you can do your own way as well, artists. Whatever works best for you. Maybe I'll draw some small hearts. Maybe I'll even draw a big heart. All right, and there's my white piece of paper. I've got 2 circles for eyes. I like different size. I've got a couple triangles for teeth, and I've done a few hearts. I have one more piece of paper that I'm going to do some drawing on today, and that is my smaller colored piece of paper. This one is going to help make the large heart for our monster, as well as a few more hearts above it as well. So the first one I want to start with is my biggest one that I can draw, my friends. And I'll try and draw it big today because I can always make it smaller next time, right? Then again, I'll add maybe a few more around it that are different sizes. Maybe a few of my hearts get a little funky in their shapes, but that's okay, right? Just like how our monster is kind of strange looking, we will still love whatever hearts you decide to make, my friends. No heart is too ugly for love. All right, my artists, I've gone ahead. I've drawn everything that I need to with my pencil. It is time now to grab up either my black marker or my black crayon. And I'm going to work backwards now down my pieces of paper. All I need to do is trace my pencil lines. And the really cool thing about our monsters, my friends, is that they're kind of hairy and shaky. So if my lines aren't perfect and smooth, that is okay too. There's my first piece all traced up. Then I'll go to my white paper. When I'm working on my eyes right now, my friends, I want you to also add in the little black pupils. You can add them either maybe looking up or in the middle, like it's looking forward, maybe it's looking down at the heart, whatever you would like to do. But add one more smaller circle inside of each eye and make sure that you color it in to really fill it in like a pupil on your eye would look. All right, keep going, tracing up all my pencil lines, making sure that next art class I'll be able to see them really well so we can start doing our cutting and gluing then. And again, maybe I might not use all of these pieces that I've made today, but it's always good to make more than you need, artists. All right, I'm done with my white paper, so I'll set that one off to the side. Now it's time to do our actual monster's body and add some details like hair in a moment here. But this time I'm going to change it up, my friends. When I'm tracing some lines, I'm going to go ahead and press hard and lightly, okay? So for these first ones, I'm going to press hard and watch where my first line is going to go. I'm going to start going around my body, but I'm going to stop now and go around my ear instead of continuing up to the head. So I'll keep going around again. I'm pushing hard right now to make a thicker line. Again, I'm going around the ear when I get there and then down the side of the head. I might even go around that line a couple of times and just really make sure that that line on the outside edge of my monster is dark and thick. And again, it's okay if you make some oopses right now because just like our monster, our lines don't have to be beautiful right now, my friends. Every line is unique and different. Some lines are jagged and broken. Some lines are smooth and soft. All right, there's my outside. Now I'm going to add some important inside lines. For example, I'm going to press hard to add those ear lines. I like to do 3. If you want to do more or less, that's perfectly all right. Then I'll go and add my eyebrows in. Again, I like to push hard and maybe color over them a couple of times. And the last line I'm going to do for today, that's nice and hard, is my mouth line. Again, you could just do a straight line or a frown. I'm going to do a smile line today. Now, if you notice, artists, I didn't go over the eyes, the heart, or these lines there. And that's important that you don't do those yet, okay? Now I'm going to change, though. I'm going to press lightly as I start to add some texture with the hair on my monster. Now, when I'm adding the hair, my friends, you got to think about how the monster is as a shape. So the ears are kind of their own shape, and I'll draw some light lines there. They can be long lines or short lines. And then the whole face as well is kind of its own shape. And I like to start kind of at the top, like where our hair starts. And then I like to go down from there. And you see how some of my lines curve a little bit? Some are straight. And I'll keep going, adding some lines down my monster. And then I'm going to layer some more as well. And again, I'm pressing very lightly with my marker right now as I draw these lines. Now I'll add some more layers in between. Notice again, I'm just going through all my other lines too, not really avoiding any of my pencil lines right now. That's okay. Next week, when we cut out our different parts and we start gluing them on, it will hide some of these hairs that have gone through the eyes, the heart, and other places as well, artists. So don't worry about it, okay? All right, once my monster looks good and hairy, I'm going to go ahead and stop and call it finished for today, my friends. Again, the rest of our steps, we're going to do cutting, gluing. Those are the 2 steps we need for collaging next week. So here are my 3 pieces of paper and what they look like right now, my friends. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to take my pieces of paper and I'm going to tuck them safely back into my folder along with my black piece. That way I have all 4 of these for next week when we're going to finish up our love monsters. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and say my BYE. And as always, have fun creating, my friends.